In this video, I want to share with you the 8 habits that made me over $1,000 per day in my early 20s. So as you can see on the screen, I've put some proof of payment I've received in my company, and I also included some pictures of me in my everyday life. That way you clearly see I'm not just some dude in a basement making videos about stuff he doesn't understand. Now with that being said, when we get to 30,000 subs on YouTube, I'll give away $2,000. All you need to win that money is to watch the video until the end, to subscribe and to share it with a friend. And I also have a gift for you. In the description of this video, you will find a free training where I explain how I went from zero to over $1,200 a day step by step with my business. I'm literally giving away all the secrets. And right now I'm also doing something special. I'm offering free consultation calls with me directly, where together we'll come up with a game plan for you to get to $10,000 per month as quickly as possible. Now the first habit I would like to share with you is to focus solely on one thing, because something I had to learn the hard way is that procrastination comes from a lack of clarity. So as you can see, I put a funny picture of myself with laser eyes on the goal. So I obsess over this goal. And so what most people do is, not only do they try to work on multiple business models at the same time, which is why they never go anywhere, because essentially what they're doing, it's like they've got their energy level. Let's say there's the goal right here, G for goal. And what most people do, instead of going there like this and reaching the goal soon, what they do is this, bam, bam, bam. And then they never reach the goal because they're super distracted. And so as you can see, when I was here, I was around 17 years old, and here on these pictures, I was 21 to 22. As you can see, I put 0 clarity, 100% procrastination. And here, 100% clarity, 0% procrastination. So the less clarity you have, the more you're going to procrastinate. So if you've got 50% clarity, you're going to have 50% procrastination. So if you're able to get yourself to do some work, but it's not enough, it's because you lack clarity. You know a few things, but you don't know enough. The path isn't very clear for you yet. And so as you can see, there is a very drastic difference when you know exactly what you're doing versus when you don't. I mean, if you see the difference, can you see how dead inside I look? I look super dead inside, whereas here, I think I look different personally. I think I look more driven, happier, whereas there, I mean, you can just see the look in my face. I was dead inside. I wasn't having any fun. I don't remember if I was coming back from school or something, but I was depressed beyond reason. Whereas here, as you can see, I'm literally watching this beautiful sunset. I'm in one of the best gyms I've ever been to. I'm in a fancy dining restaurant. Like, life is much better when you've got money. That's what I knew ever since I was a kid. But even though I wanted to be successful extremely badly, I still lacked clarity. And that made me procrastinate. Now, if we move on to the second habit, it's to have a strong reason why you do things. So it's not enough to know what to do, because if you know what to do, but you don't know why you're doing it, you're probably not going to get great results. And that's why the second habit is to not only have a strong why, but to also remind yourself of your why constantly. Even to this day, everything in my life reminds me of my why. And back then, when I was again 17, as you can see, sometimes I would literally work on this shitty table in the basement. That's where I would work out. I mean, the bar wasn't even compatible with this rack, and sometimes I'd sleep there on this mattress. So it wasn't fun by any means. I wasn't loving life by any means. And on top of that, there were rats in the basement, so that was nice. And every single day I was reminded of my why by this shitty reality, because I felt like it just wasn't enough. I could see people on social media living this kind of life, and I was wondering why I would be living this kind of life. Like, why did they deserve it better than I did? They didn't. And even to this day, like I say, even when I'm in buildings like that, I'm enjoying my life, it reminds me every single day that I fought for it and that I never want to lose it, and not just for myself selfishly, but also for the people I love. And I work extremely hard to reach new levels. So every single morning when you wake up, remind yourself of why you want to do things. And then you'll reach a point where you don't even have to remind yourself of it consciously, because everything in your reality makes you think about your goals. When I looked at this bed, if we can even call it a bed, when I got in that car, when I worked out on that rack, when I worked at this table, I kept obsessing over this kind of life, which was the vision I had in mind. Now, the next habit I would like to share with you is to ditch the morning routine. So many people focus on the wrong things, and I know because I used to be one of them. So I would want to wake up super early, to do some yoga, to take some cold showers, to read lots of books. And one thing I would notice is I'd wake up at 5, read an hour, then journal, then do X, Y, Z. But then by the time it was 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and my parents and sibling would wake up, I had done nothing in the day. So it's like, what the hell? Where did all my time go? And all this energy and focus I had, instead of, doing the most difficult task first things first in the morning. Instead, I'd be stuck, taking a cold shower and doing yoga and reading books. And while that's great, if you're just starting out, you don't even know what to work on yet, it builds up discipline, what you need to do very quickly is to replace these activities with just doing the work. So what I do nowadays is I power on my laptop and I focus on doing the most difficult tasks first things first in the morning. Right now, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm recording this video for you, and it's literally the second task I've been doing this morning. Before that, I was recording another video. I'm not checking my email, I'm not checking any socials or anything. My phone is on airplane mode. And so the reason why I put some tea here is because that's what I do. I wake up at about 6:15 nowadays. I make myself a cup of tea. I go to the bathroom, obviously, and then I'm just getting ready to work. That's it, and I'm working on the most important tasks I need to complete for my business. The other thing I'd like to share with you, and this habit is a game changer. Do not touch your phone for the first 2 to 6 hours of the day. Now, I know I could be quite hypocritical, I guess, because I've got my phone right here, and it's like 7:26 a.m., but as you can see, I've got a timer on my phone. And the reason why, it's because I'm recording this video. I don't want it to be 30 minutes long and then nobody's gonna watch. So it's like, it's helping me to work. However, it's on airplane mode, and when I'm done, I'm putting it back in my drawer. That's it. And if I don't need to use it, because I don't need the timer, I'm not touching my phone. And so what I see most people doing, even like people I know closely, it's that they wake up and the first thing they do, they grab their phone and they start looking at their messages, looking at social media, etc. And most people, they don't sleep with their phone on airplane mode. So when they grab their phone in the morning to turn off their alarm, what they see, it's literally all those messages from friends, colleagues, family members, all those snaps on Snapchats, all those Instagram DMs and stuff. And it's like, wow, it hasn't even been a minute you're awake, yet you're bombarding your brain with all this external stimulation. So of course, now you grab your phone and you end up scrolling for 30 minutes on TikTok and Snapchat, and then you're exposed to other people's lives. It makes you depressed because you hate your own life in comparison. And now you don't feel like getting out of bed. You feel like watching Netflix all day and ordering a pizza. You don't feel like going and sitting at your desk and doing the boring work you need to actually become successful. Because it's too difficult in comparison. It's too boring. Technically speaking, it's a different habit, but I put it in habit number 4 because it's about your phone. As you can see, you can put your phone in grayscale mode. And what this does is that instead of having all of these flashy colors, you want to click on everything, it's all gray and boring, and you don't really feel like clicking on notifications. Apps, phones, and computers, they've basically trained our brain to make us associate the color gray with an option being unavailable. Whenever you're in a software, let's say an option is grayed out, you know it's not available. And so when you see all of that in gray, not only does it remove all the stimulation, but your brain also thinks, oh, it's not available. Because that's what it's been programmed to think and to associate. The next habit I would like to share with you is forced days off. So as you can see on this, I've put a picture of literally somebody being lazy while eating donuts and stuff. And then there's a picture of me near the beach on vacation, just enjoying my life and relaxing. And so the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that, they think they're going to hustle 24/7. They're going to get up at 5, go to bed at midnight. And while you can sustain this for a little bit, very quickly, if I'm honest with you, it's going to be unsustainable. Even me, I work like extreme hours. I don't even know, I work pretty much all day long. But then I have to take days off sometimes. I have to force myself to take them because otherwise my productivity drops, I start to be negative, and everything just goes downhill from there. Which is why even if you are a high achiever, even if you work extremely hard, you need to force yourself to take days off sometimes. Like, don't make it excessive, of course. So for example, for me, what I do is the other day I took a day off, I think Friday, because I had been working for 17 days in a row. And I'm talking about 12-hour days with no breaks. So then I took a day off because I just couldn't focus anymore. The quality of my work was suffering, and that wasn't a good idea. And Sunday, I'm probably going to force myself to take a day off too. So in about, we're Monday today. And the reason for that is, I know if I push too hard, then it becomes impossible to focus. So you've got to be smart about how you take days off. And ideally, don't be like this woman, just sleeping on the couch, eating garbage. Just go out in nature, do things that you want. But at the same time, since it's a day off, it's time for you to check all your messages, to go on social media, to watch the movies that you want and stuff. Because that way, when you're doing deep, intense periods of work, you won't be tempted to do all of these things. Because if you never allow yourself to watch a movie, or to play a game, or to do things that you want, that you love, then it's going to be very difficult to, stick to it long term. The next habit I'd like to share with you is to always question what you're doing to find the flaws and what could be improved. Less is more. So to give you an actual example, in my business, and this is also what I teach my customers to do, I literally track everything I do. So for example, I know how many views I need to get how many calls. I know how many calls I need to get how many customers and to make how much cash at what price point. So it's like we track literally everything. Because what I really want you to understand is that if you don't track anything, how can you move forward? If you can't measure something, how do you know if you're making progress or if you're just regressing, going backwards? You would have no way to know. And that's why we track everything. But not only that, we also always question what we're doing to find the flaws and what could be improved. And then we do tests. Now, most people go about doing tests the wrong way because they change 5 different variables at the same time. And then let's say they see an improvement or it gets worse, but they don't even know what's responsible for this improvement or for everything getting worse. That's why when you conduct a test, you want to think of yourself as the scientist, as the researcher. And so for that, you only change one variable at a time. And then it allows you to see what you need to improve and what you need to focus on. The next habit I'd like to share with you is eating a light lunch. Now it helps me to preserve my energy levels. Right now as I'm making this video, I haven't eaten my breakfast yet. I'm just having some tea and I'm starting to get quite hungry actually. But that is when I am my most productive. And so as you can see, here I've put a picture of the low carb diet. So you can have some veggies, some healthy fats like avocados, some nuts and seeds, and some protein. Now, usually, to be honest with you, I do eat some rice or some form of carbohydrates, but I'm not eating anything like super heavy. Like I'm not going to have lasagna or burgers or anything like that because it's way, way too heavy. I'm also not eating cakes or anything for lunch because otherwise you've got no energy. So as you can see, I've put another picture. Here we have some protein, some onions, some black beans, some cucumbers, some tomato, and I think that this is probably cauliflower. You've got some sauce as well, which is fine if you can tolerate it, but you want to basically eat a light lunch because if you're eating like McDonald's or all of this crap, you're not going to be able to focus properly. And even if you eat a light lunch, you're still most likely going to have the afternoon dip. So it's like, let's say here is when you wake up. So here is when you wake up, here's when you go to bed. You've got the most amount of energy, at least for most people, except if you're a night owl, it would be late in the evening, but for most people, it's going to be in the early morning. So here, and this is going to be noon, okay? You've got the most amount of energy, and then it drops slowly, and as you can see at noon, there's this big dip in energy. And then typically before bed, it goes back up a little bit again. And so what happens is, if you eat a massive lunch, not only do you have the afternoon slump, but it's much, much worse. And then your peak is tiny in the evening. So can you see who's going to do the most productive work between that person in blue and that person on the red curve? And the only difference is literally what you eat. Now, the next habit I would like to share with you is that you want to do more. If you want to beat the competition, you have to go the extra mile, do more than them, and do it better. I mean, right now, it's going to sound crazy to you, but when I'm recording this on my YouTube channel, we're testing out to post 3 long-form videos per day and 5 shorts per day. I don't know anybody else who's posted 3 long-form videos per day of any kind of quality whatsoever. So I'm trying to do this challenge to see, do I get more views, do I get more followers, do I get more leads, do I get more customers, etc. And I'll keep you posted on the results. But like I told you, you always want to improve, iterate, find the flaws, what could be improved. And then in habit number 8, you want to do more. I've never seen somebody do more, work harder, and not see better results. So here I put a picture of David Goggins running. I put a picture of another Navy SEAL because these guys really inspire me because they go above and beyond. They do insane things. This man right here ran ultra marathons in horrible conditions. He even ran marathons with his legs broken. And I put a picture of me here at the gym. I haven't done anything that extreme physically, but mentally I've gone through a lot. And that's why you always want to push yourself harder. And you've got to do it in the gym, but also in business. I've never seen somebody do more than other people and do it better and not get better results. I've never seen it. So there you've got the 8 habits that made me over 1K per day as a 22-year-old. Now, be honest with yourself. If you already knew how to make $10,000 plus per month online, chances are you would have done it already and you wouldn't be watching this video. Which is why to help you, I've recorded a free video training where I show you step by step everything I did to go from 0 to $1,200 per day with my business with 95% in profit. And right now, I'm also offering free consultation calls where together we come up with a game plan for you to get to $10,000 per month as quickly as possible. The link will be in the description, but be quick because our limited spots fill up extremely quickly and we don't accept just anyone. With that being said, I will see you on the other side.